This is Crying Suns. I'm playing this game because my colleague Brian Giammi told me that it is basically the new FTL. It's different from FTL in a lot of ways, and it doesn't replace it, but it's the same kind of game in that you're, progressing through a universe full of procedurally generated danger, trying to maintain a ship and a crew, and it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it doesn't support cloud saves. I was going to come in to like my game in progress and show you what it looks like a little bit deeper into the game, but we're going to start from scratch instead. I'm not that deep into it. I still haven't beaten the first large section of the game, but I wanted to share it immediately because I'm really excited about it. So this is me coming out of the wall, barfing. Where am I? A dwarf planet on the outer rim. Most call it Gehenna, if they call it anything at all. This, Admiral, is a top-secret cloning facility for the Imperial forces, the one and only of its kind. I am Caliban, its Omni Guardian. I don't understand. You have died, Admiral. Or to put it another way, the true version of you has died. You're his clone, identical to the original Ellis Idaho in every possible way, with some minor differences. When did Admiral Idaho die? How? Unfortunately, I do not know the details of my clones' lives, as interesting as they must be. Extraneous to my directives, I believe. Which leads me to why I've awoken you. You must be curious, after all. I need your help. A machine asking for my help? Now I truly feel strange. Not just a machine, Admiral, an Omni. Short for Omni-Mechanical Neo-N Intelligence. Emperor Oberon invented us. Now your kind relies on us for just about everything. I'll come right out with it. I believe the Empire is in danger. In danger? What in the name of Oberon are you talking about? Once every 4 years, under the most secretive of protocols, I receive a single transmission from Elysium, our capital. Those transmissions stopped arriving. So you send a transmission yourself. I don't see the problem. That's just it. I can't. This facility was built in such a way to prevent it from initializing contact with the Empire, to help keep it a secret. Something is wrong, I'm certain of it, and I've awoken you so that we can fly out of here in an Omega-class battleship, no less, and see for ourselves. We? I believe you'll find my intelligence indispensable for our mission, Admiral. I don't have your kind's limitations. If you're so smart, what do you need me for? Why don't you command the battleship? Because of Oberon's Rubicon. It prohibits Omnis from commanding battleships. War is a human prerogative. Also, since I can assume the clones here are the best of the best, that would make you the best Imperial Admiral to ever exist. I'd say you're perfect for the job. I'll do it, Machine. For Oberon and the Empire. It's my duty as an Imperial Admiral. Excellent. Now just one more thing. Standard operating procedure requires I ask. Can you recall any of your emotional memories? Emotional memories? Any memory linked to a strong emotion like love or hate. These memories, because of their complex neural pathways, will be a bit trickier for you to access, I'm afraid. By the way, you've been very patient so far, listening to me read all of this dialogue. If you want to skip ahead past the dialogue, go ahead. My original plan was to just sum up the plot for you real fast, but unfortunately, because I'm starting over from scratch, we got to get through all this stuff. I mean, I guess I could just hammer through it with my clicker. So basically, I can't recall my emotional memories, but I can recall like functional stuff, like how to command a Starfleet. So it feels like it's some foreshadowing to story content I haven't gotten to yet, so I'm excited about that, but we're definitely not getting there right now. All right, so this is how you set up your game. This is kind of like the ship screen at the beginning of a game of FTL. Let's move my head so that I'm in a slightly better spot. So this is my starship. Apparently you unlock more, as you complete Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, you unlock more different kinds of starships. I have not yet done that. I've died a few times in the first chapter. I have not yet got to the end of it. I might get to the end of it on my game at home. In fact, I was kind of hoping that's what we would be playing right now. But, so I can sort of see the state of my ship, like, how much room I have to upgrade it, that sort of thing. I don't think I can actually make upgrades right now. No, I can't. But it shows how much money I've got, how much fuel, how many commandos, what squadrons of fighters I've got, the weapons. and I can choose different difficulty levels. You notice the difficulty, when I choose hard, all it does is gives me less money up front. I'm pretty sure that's the only change. Oh, but I'm betting that, yeah, of course, there's enemies get harder and stuff throughout the game. But as far as my starting conditions, hard only reduces my money. Easy gives me extra money, I believe. Yes, it does. And also gives me a harder hull up front. I don't have to buy it. So, but we'll start with normal, and we'll choose our officers. So our officers, the officers you choose give you advantages in combat, depending on where you assign them. And they also go on missions for you. They lead missions, and their capabilities determine which missions they'll succeed at and which missions they'll fail at. It's an interesting, they've done the randomness of those missions in a very interesting way that I'm excited to get to. Okay, so let's pick the abilities that we want. So we've got advanced critical repair, proximity repair, proximity defense. So heal also is adjacent to the hull integrity cell for, okay, so I don't have to put my squadrons away to heal them. That's interesting. I've never done that one before. Let's grab this one. Also, spies are kind of rare. So let's grab a spy. And then we want someone who is different from the spy and who also works on a different part of the ship. So this person gets assigned to the hull part of the ship. So we don't want this character, because they're a hull character, or this character. So I want one of these two. I don't want this spy, because then we get two spies, and that's ridiculous. So instead, let's grab this character who, can repair critical effects faster than other characters. Okay, so these will be our two starting characters. You want to get a nice broad range of them. And we'll get started. So the presentation of this game is one of my favorite things about it. I'm not sure if I'm in the right place for this. Okay, so this is your sector map. Normally this looks more like an FTL screen, where you can see like multiple paths that you can weave your way through. But because we're in the tutorial, it's much simpler. So Caliban is dealing with the fact that he can't make contact with any of the machines. So Galactic Society is ruled by these machines, and humans are kind of passengers in the whole deal. But now all the machines have shut down, and Caliban can't reach any of them. All right, so I'm already here. This place is advertising what is there. So once I go over to this location, there's several different planets or stations that I can visit. And so if there were multiple ones, I could sort of evaluate each of them based on what they had to offer. But we've only got the one option here, so we'll go to it. So I love the way that we've got this sort of like pixelated aesthetic, but it's all clearly done in 3D and it's all lit like a fancy modern game. It's just a really weird and off-the-wall kind of presentation it really appeals to me. So what do we have here? It's some kind of cube-like refinery. So yeah, so around the star, at every single place we go, there's this refinery where we can try to extract fuel. So I could ask him to explain it, or we could send a small team to investigate. So Captain Lynch is going to go over here and see what's going on. All right, so basically what we're finding out is that the communication system for the entire galaxy is basically down for 10 or 15 years. Okay, so it looks like it's empty of fuel. We don't get any this time. But usually when you encounter one of these, that's where you get new fuel. Raneth Court asks, the robots are shut down? Is that why the suns are crying? Maybe. You also get fuel from these things that are orbiting suns. So I like to think that the suns are crying their tears into my gas tank. And that's where I'm getting fuel. Okay, so Caliban expects that there is leftover fuel here. So we can, here we go. Yeah, so this is how you scavenge fuel. So it's basically, it rolls a number from here to here and shows you how many you get. So I'm going to scavenge, and I only get one, which is pretty normal. You have to upgrade some stuff in order to consistently get more than one. But, okay, we're done with that. So let's look at the local system map. So as I was saying, when we selected this location on the star map, it listed like four planets around it. So I can go to any of these places that I want. This one, I don't know what's there. This one's got some kind of station. This one has got an anomaly, which is either really good or really bad. And this has got a secret military base, which is a mission to send my commandos on. So let's start with the commandos, actually. Oh, wait, I can't. It's locked. It's locked. Oh, I can only go here. Fine, tutorial. Force me to do your will. Sir, battleship, 12 o'clock. What kind of a battleship, Lieutenant? By the way, Brian pointed out to me that my character being named Idaho is apparently a Dune reference. I'm not well versed enough in Dune to recognize, but being a clone that comes back again and again and being named Idaho is apparently a thing that people who read Dune will recognize. So it's a new kind of ship. Okay, so this person here they're like a pirate. They want my ship. He's being mean to me about it. Oh, here comes a battle. So these early battles are pretty simple. And I'm trying to figure out where the best place to stick my face is. I think the lower right corner is probably the least eventful. So let's stick me down there. Okay, so it's running me through how these things work. Okay, so we can pause because apparently our thoughts are being accelerated. So first we can assign our officers. So this one is good at proximity repair and needs to be assigned to the hull. So I'm going to assign them to the hull. And this other officer can be assigned anywhere and just repairs things faster when you get damaged. So I'll stick them on squadrons. So I got to pick which one of these squadrons to send. This one's damaged. Let me look. So they've got drones. That's what's going to be coming out of this enemy ship. And they do extra damage to frigates. So I don't want to send my frigates out. What I want to send is my fighters, which, you can see right there. It says massive damage bonus versus drones. So I pick my fighters. I say where I want the fighters to spawn. I also should load up this weapon and hit space. Right, so they charge up, and so now my weapon is charging up before I can use it. I've got these fighters. They're extra good against the drones, so I'm going to try to intercept the drones. The enemy's goal is to get his ships next to my ship and damage my ship. Or he can also use his weapons on the battleship to attack my ship directly. I'm trying to do the same back to him. And in the meantime, like all of the little squadrons of fighters and things we can send out have like rock, paper, scissors relationships to each other. And there's also like geographic things that can be going on here on the star map, on the space map here, the battle map. So you can see I am just making short work of these guys because of the rock, paper, scissors relationship. So now I'm going to send him over here. This guy doesn't have any weapons. He only has squadrons. And so the best thing I can do probably is attack his squadrons. Because if I can cause status effects that are bad on the squadrons, that's good for me. Ooh, my weapon's finished charging. So I can just directly fire the weapon like that. And it just completely overheated the squadrons. Which I think froze them in place and made it so he can't spawn any more guys. And we win! Yay! It explodes because I got its hull strength down. So that was probably the simplest possible battle we could have had, which is, why this is called the tutorial. All right, so we won that battle. We got some scrap for it, which is good. Eventually we'll be able to upgrade our ship. So let's go to the next area they just unlocked. Rourke Sigma. This is, an Imperial outpost. It's abandoned. No humans. No Omnis. Okay, let's send in a team of commandos. So commandos are a resource that you can spend and risk in order to get things done. It's humans being killed, but you never see their faces or their names. Oh no, you do see their names actually, but you don't see their faces. So it's easy to sort of treat them as a resource. Might be a thematic element to that in the story. Okay, so this was abandoned. Okay, somebody came here, took all the most valuable stuff, and ran off back during some apocalyptic moment that we missed. Oh, an Omni. A messed up Omni. Okay, we're looking at this Omni's memory. Its exoframe is perfectly intact, has plenty of Neo-N, and its positronic chip seems to be in place. It should be up and running. I don't get it, so it's shut down. So this is where we're, I think, learning that all of the robots have shut down. So let's continue on because, you know, I think that you should, like, if you decide to play this game from scratch, you should read all of the text. The storytelling in this is actually really interesting. I'm fascinated by where this world is going to go, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on it here on the stream. So you'll notice that each time I go to a new planet, I use 1 unit of fuel. So units of fuel are used to travel from star system to star system. They're also used to travel from planet to planet. It's kind of interesting that that's the same amount of fuel use, but whatever. So this is an anomaly. So these are usually riskier than other things. It's one of those creatures. What are you? Oh, he's gonna attack us again. What? These guys are jerks. Okay, yeah, so this is where it's telling us, so these are fighters, so we don't want to throw fighters at them. Instead, we want to throw frigates. So we'll spawn some frigates. Die, fighters. I think it's actually difficult to get your guys not to fight if they get close to each other. All right, so again, this guy doesn't have any weapons, so the best thing I can do is attack their squadrons. You'll notice that when I attack, the hull goes down, and when I have this guy sitting right next to it shooting it, the hull is decreasing. I have 2 separate hull bars. This guy only has 1. But you very quickly start fighting guys that have 2 or 3 hull bars. And each time you knock out one of their hull bars, there's a big explosion that knocks all your guys back and gives them a chance to breathe. And so you have to be able to sort of defeat them multiple times effectively. Yay, I got more fighters. Okay, so I'm learning about anomalies, which are just, you know, they're planets where there's more dangerous stuff, but or more risk of danger, but there's also more risk, more chance of reward. Okay, secret military base. Let's go. There appear to be a small colony on this planet, Admiral. Maybe we can finally get some answers. Oh, a ground signal. Hello, is anyone there? This is Admiral Ellis Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. I'm Tygan Bowie, leader of my small colony. What can we do for you, Admiral? If it's scrap you're looking for, I'm sorry, we have none to spare. Scrap? We're here to find out what's going on in these sectors. I don't understand. So basically, they're finding out that we have no idea what's going on and that it's the galactic apocalypse right now. So the Omni's shut down, they can't do anything. All of the high-tech stuff they were depending on is gone. It's a mystery, nobody knows why it happened. 75% of the population died in the first 5 years alone. So scrap is money, so we can learn about that. We can ask how to help, but let's just end the conversation to keep moving. And scrappers are the guys I've been fighting so far, and they're just sort of like raiders, like apocalyptic villains. Yay, some fuel. All right. So we're gonna try to find the boss of the Scrappers, whose name is Mother. That's the first chapter. That's the goal, is to defeat Mother. And I have not succeeded in doing that yet. So I can't tell you anything about what happens beyond that, except for the fact that Brian tells me that the story makes big changes and big turns several times throughout the game, so that when you get to the end of chapter 1, you learn more, and it's a really kind of a satisfying transition into the next chapter. And he says that happens effectively like 5 or 6 times before the end of the game. So it actually makes me more excited. Like I'm really interested in sort of progressing further because I want to see where the story goes, which isn't that common for roguelike style games. Okay, so we're going to investigate the secret military base, and that is a ground mission. So first you scan the planet. It finds the thing you're doing. And I've played several games that do this kind of thing where you send characters on a random mission, and I think that Epic Tavern does this, and there was some, like colonial age explorer game I played that was kind of like that too, where basically you send a team of people in and random stuff happens along the way, and you just kind of decide when to quit or when to keep pressing your luck. So you need at least 3 commandos to pull this off at all, but it'll take up to 10, and I've got 12, so I've got enough. So there's no major threats detected, just some kind of military base, which is going to have stuff for me. And I've got 1 chance to retreat. So partway through the mission, I'll get the chance to retreat. So my officers will definitely survive. But basically, the way that these missions work, it'll progress through a series of events, and each event can have a positive outcome if your leader has a certain skill, or a negative outcome if your leader does not have that certain skill. And whenever there's a negative outcome, a bunch of random damage happens to your people, and when there's a positive outcome, some kind of random reward happens. And so basically the game knows exactly what's going to happen on this mission. So it tells you in advance what your chances are. So that this spy will extract between 24% and 63% of the available resources, and they'll lose between 0 and 5 commandos. So basically, depending on how the random rolls go, like they're going to have enough failures to lose up to 5 commandos, but they could also lose none if they're lucky. And they're going to have enough successes to get some of the rewards, but they'll also have enough failures to lose some of the rewards. Whereas if I look at this character, they are going to get a lot more rewards. They're going to succeed at the rewards a lot more, and they have way fewer chances to lose commandos, which tells me that the scientist skills, you'll see just right above me up there, there's 2 particular skills that are highlighted for this scientist, erudition and hack. So this mission is going to be full of erudition and hack challenges. And so that's why this character is going to succeed, whereas this character is going to fail because they don't have those 2, and what they have is sharp senses and persuasion, which are not going to be nearly as useful on this particular mission. Apparently, it's going to be a little bit useful, but not nearly as useful as these 2. So I'm going to select this leader, and we're going to launch the expedition. So then we see it play out. The presentation in this game is one of my favorite things about it, because it can be doing a bunch of random rolls, which could be depicted in a pretty boring way, but they find a really kind of visually dynamic, exciting way to do it. Which is, it doesn't change the nature of the game, but it does make me more interested in it. Like, I can stay more engaged. And the same thing, like, when you come to a new planet, the visual pizzazz of the whole experience is interesting enough that it just kind of, it gives me a little bump to keep me going. All right, so you see them prancing around. Hack, got some scrap. Over here, this is a persuasion challenge. So the spy would have done well at that, but would have done badly at that one. So see, a lot more of the skills of my scientist are being used. Neither of my characters have the piloting skill. So now we get to the military base, and we hack, and we got a new drone. So that's cool. And we got some more resources. And we avoided some danger. More danger avoided. You see how often the skills of this particular leader are coming out. So we could retreat now if we felt like we were in danger, and we would lose some of the stuff that we brought with us, or some of the stuff we earned. But we're going to continue because we're doing great. Okay, and they're ready to go. So yeah, we got a bunch of scrap, a bunch of fuel, and a drone, which is great. So now we've basically done everything in the system. And so there's nothing more to do here, so it's time to move on via the star map. So now we've got a much more complex star map up here. This looks more like a game of FTL or any of the other games in that kind of genre. Okay, so incoming alert. So this represents, this is like the enemy army that's chasing, or enemy armada that's chasing you in FTL. When this gets down to 0, these nodes start being consumed by enemies, and you can't just hang around very long. I haven't found much reason to hang around very long. Usually I do. I'm running out of fuel so fast, I want to progress to the end as quickly as I can. Okay, so I'm here, so I have the option to go up here, or I can go down here. And actually, these two are connected, so I could actually go between them, too, if I wanted to, if I felt like I had enough time. So this one has got 3 places I can stop, which it's got a mission, it's got a depot, which I think I can often sell things at, or buy things at. This has just got a depot. So this one's a more interesting location, so I'm gonna head that way. So right there by the star, we got civilian wreckage. Okay, let's scavenge for scrap. So sometimes, usually when an option doesn't have any risks listed, it's pretty safe to take. Got some more scrap, that's good. I also need to scavenge for fuel, and I got 2 this time. So the fact that I've got 9 fuel is something very special to the tutorial. Having 9 fuel is ridiculous. I never have 9 fuel, but they're trying to make my first experience with this good. So because I've got 9 fuel, I can freely explore here and not worry too much about it. Scrapper containers dead ahead. Check them out, Captain, and look alive. All right, so they searched these containers that are floating in space and didn't find anything to kill. So we've got a mission on the planet, though. So let's scan the planet. So we've got planetary defense turret wreckage. And, okay, this is a much more dangerous mission than the last one. So neither of my characters is well suited to this. They're both going to lose a ton of commandos no matter what I do. So the leaders are going to survive at least, but I'm betting that the challenges involved in this mission involve soldier skills. Piloting, let's see here, what are they called? Piloting, fighting, and demolition. So I'm betting that those are the skills demanded by this, and I just don't have an appropriate commander for the mission. So I'm not going to go down and risk it. We lost some fuel coming here, but at least we gained some scrap with our initial encounter. Scrapper battleship. Here comes a fight. Okay, so we've got terrain now. So massive asteroid blocks any movement or anything. These, you can move into these tiles, and they'll actually protect you while the enemy's attacking you from the outside. So, like, if you've got a ship that needs to fight a ship that's not suited to fight, you can put it in here to protect it. Okay, so they've got fighters with crappy health, so they're not in good shape. Frigates are what I want. So let's spawn this frigate right here, and we're good to go. Oop. Right, it's teaching me how to use waypoints. So I can, for instance, say, go this way, and then that way. But I find myself wanting to change my plan. Yeah, see, he's trying to do an end run around me, so... Okay, so actually what I should do is move in here, but I can't. Now that I'm engaged in combat, moving me around is actually really difficult. In fact, I think I have to, yeah, I can't fight him while I'm moving. So well, I'm safer in here, but it might not have been a good idea for me to go in there in the first place. So let's move up here to get into this safer spot. Though I think he can spawn people on top of me and force me out. Oh, my weapon's ready to fire. Oh, so he just brought out some drones. Drones are much more powerful against my frigates. So they're gonna be taking a lot more damage from the drones, and I really should have used my weapon on the drones. Drones are also faster than frigates. I don't know if I can escape without causing problems, because I'm not fighting back while I'm escaping. But, okay, so I'm here now. They're just gonna skip me because I'm hiding. They're just gonna go right past me and end up down there. Well, I've unlocked a new spot now, so let's spawn some fighters to take them out. Okay, you see, so they just blew up enough asteroids and now they have full access to my guys. But I've got my weapon. Okay, so these frigates, they're done. So let's hit the right button on them, bring them back into my ship, and let's attack with my fighters instead. Though who knows what he's going to bring out this next time. It could be, if he's got frigates. Okay, he's got fighters, which is, you know, not great, but also not a disaster for my fighters. Oh, they just showed up there. They spawned here before I could get there. They don't have very much health to start, though. If my weapon gets ready fast enough. Okay, so I just took out the asteroids. Oh, but they're going to take out my fighters. Dang. Okay. So my fighters have been wrecked. But, so these fighters, fighting them with frigates is ideal. But I think these guys are still being, yeah, it'll be another 23 seconds before I can bring these frigates out. So let's bring out more fighters. Because they'll at least fare better than the drones will. Yeah, and under cover of asteroids, they'll make short work of those guys. All right, let's head back and... So I've done so much damage to these guys. They're getting real close. All right, we did it. So we got an officer, apparently. Maybe they were a prisoner aboard the ship. I don't know. But I wrecked that set of fighters, so that's a bad thing. So when they're wrecked, that means I can still use them, but they start with half health. And so so the fact that I rescued those frigates and brought them back to heal means that they're going to be at full health the next time I fight. But because I left those fighters out there and got them killed, they're going to be at half health next time. And there's only very rare, like, shipyards where I can heal them. Luckily, see, is this Army Depot? Okay, yeah, so this is an Army Depot. I can buy things here, but I can't repair things here. So what should I get? So I've got a bunch of, okay, so these patched fighters. Okay, I think I'm gonna sell my ones that are in bad condition, just because why not? And I should purchase a new kind of ship. This is a cruiser. Oh, and they've also got some fancy drones. Cannot be targeted by adjacent units. Interesting. Let's look at what our other options here are, though, too, because we've got upgrades. So, okay, I still can't afford this, which would let me have 3 different squadrons out at once. I could add a weapon dock if I wanted to buy a second weapon to have up at once. I could also enhance my hull, and my fuel scavenging efficiency would actually be really valuable, too. But I can also buy fuel, but I got plenty of fuel. I can buy commandos, but I haven't been wasting my commandos. So I really want to see, so what is it? So plasma nuke. So this impact zone is really interesting here because it shows, like, you know, this nuke, I can just take out a whole bunch of enemy stuff, but it doesn't affect the battleship. So my current, so like the piercer laser does affect the battleship, but this one is super powerful, but it only affects the little ships. Same thing with H-beam, only affects the little ships. So this one could fire more often, but it has a smaller impact zone. But that could be actually good too if I want to have my ships out there with my weapon. So I've only got like about 300. So I kind of want to show different kinds of, let's see here. Okay, so this guy's got artillery, so he can attack the battleship from anywhere. This guy slows enemies that he attacks. Takes more damage at short range. They both take, so the nature of, so it's interesting, they've got a rock, paper, scissors mechanic where drones, fighters, and frigates all have rock, paper, scissors interactions. Then you got a 4th type, cruisers, which basically take extra damage from all of those types, but they can shoot from a distance. So like, they're like, this is like rock, paper, scissors sniper, where like all 3 of them are great close up, but the sniper's great from far away. So I'm gonna grab this. These are some fancy drones. So they can freeze people in place and not be attacked by them, which is just fascinating. So I think I'll grab these 2, and then the upgrades I'll go for, I'll grab fuel scavenging efficiency because I want to show how that works. So let's start our next battle, just so we can see it with the cruiser and these new drones. And we're done here. We've used most of our money. What else is there in the system? That's the whole system. So let's go to the star map. And so we could go here and expect, the enemy will take some time to catch up to us. It's got one anomaly versus here where there's a shipyard and a wreckage, and this is just the better place to go. So I'm not gonna worry about taking the risks here and cutting myself off from that location. Okay, so we can ambush the pirate, which is great. What if these are nice pirates, sir? Okay, so that means that I get to be deployed faster than them. I get a time advantage. So they've got fighters. Fighters are great against drones. So I actually don't want drones. I want a frigate. As much as I want to test out those drones. Notice we've also got these turrets. These turrets can shoot you if you get within the targeting ring around them. They can't do you close up, but they can do you out here. So I need to avoid getting into those spaces. So we'll put our frigates there, our cruiser here, and we'll want to keep our cruiser out of harm's way. This will all be interesting. Okay, so my guys get to spawn immediately because of the ambush. So I'm gonna bring my frigates up here. They'll be relatively safe. Oh, I hit the right buttons to the left. And then, okay, so this cruiser, it looks like it doesn't have, it's only artillery. Interesting. I thought it would have normal ship-to-ship abilities in addition to its anti-battleship capabilities, but it only attacks the battleship. Well, that's good to know. Okay, so yeah, these guys had a massive advantage over those fighters. So we're gonna come over here. And this cruiser is charging up its main weapon. And so it's just gonna automatically shoot at the battleship every chance it gets. Meantime, I've also got this weapon, but I don't know what these guys are gonna bring out yet, so... Okay, so I froze their squadrons down. Okay, they're bringing out drones, which is exactly what you want to do against frigates. So let's move the frigates out, and let's get ready to zap the drones with my shipboard weapon, right there. Let's move anyway, even though it's risky. Lost a frigate, but now the frigates are protected while they fire back. Oh, they want to negotiate a truce. So oftentimes these truce offers are, I think, at least sometimes they're better than what you get for defeating the guys. So I think I'm going to accept this. Cool, we won. Let's scavenge. So you'll notice I get 2 rolls now because I just, you'll remember that I bought that upgrade that increases fuel scavenging efficiency. That's one of the most valuable upgrades you can get because especially when you're not playing the tutorial level and you start with a lot less fuel, you're just starving for fuel all the time. And so getting that up quickly is one of your top priorities. So now it rolled twice and it got 1 each time, so I got 2 fuel here. So let's go on this mission. There's an old message. Listen to the message. It's not working. Okay, great. House Vicarelli. Truly the worst of houses. Okay, prepare a mission. Oh, by the way, I forgot to notice, I've got a 3rd commando now. 3rd commander. 3rd, what are these called? Officer. I've got a 3rd officer now. So this officer is dedicated to... Okay, so they can increase their squadron's DPS if you assign them to squadrons. So let's take this character out. Put my squadron specialist in this slot. And then put my generalist in that slot. So now, yeah, so I've got 3 to choose from, and I've got a spy, a scientist, and a soldier, which is great because that gives me a lot more flexibility when it comes to these missions. That last mission where I was presuming that it required a soldier in order to be successful, this is probably who I wish I'd had. So, yeah, so you can see this is a similar mission, and my soldier, who has got the piloting and demolition abilities, has way stronger success chances than the other two. This one could lose as many as 9 commandos. This one will definitely lose between like the least. Okay, if I send my scientist, the minimum they could lose is 7 commandos, which is just ridiculous. This character, the spy, is actually uniquely ill-suited to protecting themselves on this mission. So they're less bad off than the scientist, but they'll probably take some damage. But this guy is doing great. So let's pick the soldier, launch the expedition. So, that's the one thing the spy would have done better at, probably. But we got demolition, got some scrap. Piloting got us out of danger. I love how comprehensible this is. Like, I was able to figure out just from the clues they were giving as they walked me through this. I was able to figure out what was going on after the first several times I played it. So, yeah, we're doing great. More scrap. More demolition. Cool. Piloting our way out of danger. This is like explicitly made for this character. Oh, but they don't have fight. Oh, we lost the one character that it told us we might lose. So, oh well. So this character, they're a demolitionist, they're a pilot, they're not a fighter hand to hand. So they didn't do well in that battle. But we did get out with the weapon we wanted. So let's upgrade. Let's add an additional weapon dock. And prep this weapon here. This is a Tesla field generator. So it looks like, okay, so basically it's got a 3-tile area of effect. It does damage over time. And so basically you use this as like an area denial weapon. Like you stick it in a place where the enemy is, and it makes them not want to be there anymore. You'll notice that it's got a diagonal, it's kind of shaped like this, whatever. Like that, I don't know. The reason for that is, I think, is because if you had an area denial weapon that was horizontal, you could place it right along the hull of your ship and the enemies and keep enemies away from you. And they don't want you to do that. They want you to have to pick and choose where you stick the thing. So that makes sense. Local system map. Let's go to the shipyard last. A small civilian transport vessel. Please don't attack. What to do? Where are you going? They're trying to escape. Where are they going? Anywhere. They don't know where they're going. Even a trash planet. So I've got way more fuel than I need, so I'm just going to give him some of my fuel to be a nice dude. So I'm persuading him to take it. And then they gave us a flat cannon. So what does a flat cannon do? This is, huge area of effect. Oh, but no, but it targets 10 random cells in that area. That's interesting. But it doesn't affect the battleship. So I still want to affect the battleship. So let's equip both of our new weapons just so we can see what they look like. I love that they've got this character who's in front of my UI. He's like, I don't care. This is where I belong. Whatever, dude. Okay, let's go to the shipyard. Okay, we got a situation. There's a fire. Okay, so basically we can spend some of our fuel to put out this fire, which is hilarious to me, or we can suffer damage to our squadrons. We've got just enough fuel that I think I'm going to extinguish the fire with it. That was just a bad thing. So that was what that anomaly was about. So that was pretty sad. But we can visit this shop. And we could buy stuff if we had enough. But what we can do is buy fuel to replace the fuel we lost. So we're good there. Let's keep the rest for... Is there anything I want to sell? I don't know if you can sell your characters. Whatever. Okay, so that's all we'll do there. Star map. Okay, we're getting real close. We're running out of time, but we're getting real close. So let's just go over here. The simplest next step. That's an Imperial battleship. Okay, let's send some... We got a couple extra dudes. Let's send some dudes in there to see what we can find. Oh, there's a message in blood. That's great. The survivalists live. I bet that's somebody I'm going to encounter later. So we're going to scavenge Neo-N. Oh, only got one this time. What we got here? Just one other place to go. Might as well. Got enough fuel. Picking up a distress signal from this beacon. It's not connected to the fold net anymore. Investigate the distress signal? Oh, it's a scrapper hiding near the beacon. It was a trap! Oh no! So now they get the time advantage. They get to start the battle with their guys all ready to deploy. So they're bringing out drones and fighters. So they're going to be good against frigates and drones. So what I want is fighters. So let's bring out some fighters. And actually, yeah, because I've got the Impaler here, I can shoot this ship without having my weapons be devoted to that. So I think I'll keep this one there. Put my fighters up front. Hopefully this will be okay. Their fighters are not in good condition, and mine are in great condition. So, and I've also got this Tesla weapon, which will help. Ooh, they've got a flat cannon, which they used to good effect against my fighters. These fighters are going for my cruisers, so I'm interceding here, stopping them. Okay, we made it, but I'd like to heal these fighters before I do anything else with them, so I'm sending them back in. This guy's still shooting at that guy. My weapons are charging up. I'm ready for whenever new guys show up. Okay, so they've got more drones queued up, but I only had the one set of fighters. So let's bring out more drones, because at least that's an even match. The thing I definitely don't want... Okay, so we've got... All right. I'm going to keep these guys back as far as I can. Until these guys get close. Okay, we're going to take out these drones fairly quickly. These fighters are going to be amazing against my guys. So let's put the Tesla effect right there in the middle of that tile they were stuck in fighting with me. And now I can send my super fast drones in to attack their ship. So they've been using their weapons. Oh, okay, so why is he healing? Oh, proximity repair. That's nice. Okay, so keeping this guy out but next to my ship means he'll get repaired by this character, which is a great combo. Like I've got this artillery character, this artillery thing, and this character that really complement each other well. That was an excellent plan that I had by accident. Okay, fighters are about to show up here. Let's actually just get out of here with these drones. And let's see if we can... Oh, wow, I can plan this? Oh, okay, so I had to time it to hit them. Okay, interesting. Good to know. Now I know how that works. All right, so So these guys are going to be deadly against this cruiser. Let me bring out some... What do I want? I want a frigate, I think, because these guys are about to die. I'll bring out a frigate right here. I should probably extract my cruiser before it takes too much damage. And so, yeah, so these guys got taken out by my Tesla. These guys are now going to engage the fighters with a massive advantage. And we're head back over here to damage them as much as I can. Oh, noes! All right, so let's use these little drones just because I feel like it. So many drones. Okay, so I do not want my drones next to fighters. So I'll hit the fighters with the Tesla. Looks like my frigates decided to go and help with the fighters. That was nice of them. Or maybe was my frigate escaping the drones? My frigate is not happy about those drones. Luckily, these drones are kind of locked into place fighting my drones. And so let's get these frigates out of here. Ooh, my weapon's ready to fire. But... oh, right, no, these drones, I think they can't be targeted by adjacent units. And current adjacent target can't move, that's right. So I was able to extract these frigates because these drones were locking these drones in place. Oh, but they took me down. Dang. Well, they used their weapon on my frigate instead of on my ship. Not that it would have mattered, my ship could take it a lot better. And I just got a new cruiser. Okay, cool, but I wrecked a frigate. Sad. All right, well, that was that fight. And that was it. So, unfortunately, we're out of time. My lunch break is up. So I gotta quit because, this is too bad. Because the very next thing is the boss battle for this sector. Gosh, I guess, you know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to come back, probably on Wednesday, and play through that part of the game. So if you want to see that part of the battle, what you're gonna have to do is, I'm sure that at some point, I'm gonna do a stream of that, and I'll put it right here. That's gonna be a link eventually to that fight when I get there, and you can subscribe. And Crying Suns, right? It's like FTL, only it's got a bunch of new interesting stuff, and I'm having a great time.